Morning. Do you have your coffee? Because we're going to do some coffee talking. So, it's one of those dark, stormy days. God, I love those. I just love waking up and the sky is darker than, because right now the surrounding mountains have snow on them. So when the sky has those dark clouds, it's so cool. There's just something so cool about that. Now, if I was out in a tent, maybe not so much. And that's kind of what I want to chat about today. I was thinking back. Actually, I had somebody was asking me about my nomad time. And she wants to do it, but she's trying to plan it out. And she's just like, what do I do? Do I keep an apartment so I have a place to come back to? Do I did? And I know that person. Because that's the person I was for many years. And for me, that's akin to getting up on the high dive and just never getting the balls to jump off. Your mind is so full of what do I do? How do I do it? What if this happens? Blah, 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 blah. And it got me thinking back to how just as it was happening, this was COVID time and my business just shut down and the house I was in was just sold. The house I had been renting was just sold. And I was, nose to nose with, oh my God, am I going to be homeless? But see, the thing I know about me is I don't vibrate there. Or you could say I'm not available for that. That was one of the things I used to say back then. I'm not available for that. And it was just this deep knowing. There was this deep knowing of, trying to find the words here. It's almost like you think you're the driver of this reality when actually you're just the passenger. But it's so much bigger than that. It's so much more you're both. You really are both. And the passenger version of you knows that the driver version of you has always got your back, baby. And that you truly are never making any decisions. You really aren't. And this was the biggest fucking thing I learned. That it was almost like dominoes. It's like this domino fell and it caused this next domino to fall and it caused this next domino to fall. And there was I couldn't put my hand in the way and stop any of those. I could give myself the illusion that I do, but I didn't. And I said this back then, that I realized, there was this moment when I realized that I never, as much as I wanted to do the whole nomad thing my whole life, I was always like, oh yeah, that would be so cool. I can't wait. I want to do that. When would I do that? How could I do that? Blah, 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 blah. I was always like trying to figure out how I could manage to do that. And I realized in that moment that it was such a waste of time because it was going to happen when it was going to happen. And everything, when I talk about the dominoes, it was like my job, my business shutting down because of COVID, the house selling out from under me, all those things. And I had said it back then, it felt like all the doors were closing. And that's exactly what it felt like. And the only door that was open was go this way. And go this way meant getting rid of all my belongings and just loading up my dog. And what few things I could fit into my Subaru and go. I mean, truly, guys, I had this moment of there's nothing else that's going to happen. And when you look back over your life, and we all have this ability to look back over our life, you will see over and over and over all the cool serendipitous happenstance interactions with the perfect things. You just happen to be in the perfect place at the perfect time to have this job or have this thing happen. And guys, it really, you know, as a child, you never had to worry about anything. I don't want to say you had to. You didn't worry about anything. There was this part of you that understood you were always taken care of. You were always fucking taken care of. And we called it parents or whatever. They paid the bills. They made sure you had food. Da 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 da. You always had clothes. You always, you know, you're going to school on these days. We're going to go vacationing on these days. And you didn't have to plan any fucking of it. None of it. Not one moment of it. Even taking a shower, you know, everything was taken care of for you. Go take your shower. Okay. Everything, anything you wanted, a bike, all these things, you were always taken care of. And then, of course, as you got older and you became a quote unquote adult, again, if you zoom out away from your life and you look, you're going to see that never stopped. You never stopped being taken care of. And again, we move into spaces of faith and fear, or you know, you gave yourself the illusion that you were the one that made sure that you had electricity and all that. But guys, it was so much bigger than that. And again, like I said, I had so many, you know, freaking unnumberable times that I would get a phone call that was like, hey, do you want to go to this thing tonight? And me being, I don't really want to go, but I'll go. And while I'm there, I just happen to run into the right person who just happened to tell me about a job, or just happened to tell me about this or that. And that led to the most amazing situation. And it just, God, it was over and over and over. I think about, you know, where I'm at in this moment in my life. And at this point, I can't question that shit anymore. I just can't. You can't. There's just too much evidence to the contrary. I mean, hell, you can. But everything I talk about in my videos, guys, all, you know, you are God, blah, 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 all that stuff. There's just too much evidence to the contrary. There's just too many times where I decided that I wanted this, or I decided that I wanted that, and it just showed up. You know, and we get so excited, you know, we get so excited. Oh my God, let me tell you what happened. And we can play there, but there are other times where I'm just like, you know, that's how I roll. It's just the way, that's how I roll. Up here, let's see if I can make the outside a little more so you can see all the pretty trees. There we go. Up here, I always say up here because I'm up in the mountains. I have a lot of times people are like, are you going to stay this time? Where are you staying? How long are you staying? What are you doing? And it doesn't matter where I am, what I'm doing. If anybody ever asks me, you know, what's your plan? My answer is always like, I'm here now. That, I mean, because truly, especially after yesterday's big ass video about, what was the title of it? Oh, Premonition, Remembering in Reverse. In every moment you are born, guys. And the coolest thing about that, saying, in every moment you are born, this now moment is your birth. Happy birthday. You have a fresh slate in front of you and behind you as well. You know, and I'm talking about your past. You get to rewrite everything. You get to rewrite everything at all moments, at all times. You get to pull your attention away from anything that in this moment is not your ideal, and you get to turn your attention to your ideal. You get to shift constantly roads. When I was out doing the nomad thing, there was I never fucking planned a thing. I didn't plan a thing because I know how my life is. And that's, if I have a plan, you know, the dominoes aren't falling that way. I might have a plan that I want the dominoes to fall off to the right, but they're going, nope, we're going to the left. And I'm just carried along. And so I don't. Now, Life is, oh, life just is, you know? It's so weird because in one moment it almost sounds like I'm saying you have no control of what's going to happen, and in the next moment I'm like, yeah, you got you get to plan it out. You get to wipe away memories and have new memories. You get to wipe away new old plans and have new plans, but it's not even that. It's not about plans. It's about opening up your heart and your mind and everything about you to this other story that's going on over here. I said it in yesterday's video. I was like, if you're on you're gonna go climb to the top of that mountain and you're on this path and you run into somebody who says, are you going up there? And you're like, yeah. And they're like, well, see that trail over there? That's more fun. And you're like, oh, okay. And you go to that trail. And it's a lot, you know, when I had the aha that I was going to be a nomad, because that's what it was. It was, I literally woke up one morning and I say I decided, but I put that in quotes. Sorry guys, I gotta get more comfortable here. I'm in an uncomfortable space. I put that in quotes because that bitch was gonna happen. That would just, there was no other. I was as sure of that happening, even though it was just this sudden early morning decision. I was as sure of that happening as I was the sun was coming up. Literally. And it, you know, if I wanted to move off that plan and say, yeah, maybe I don't want to be a nomad, it was as impossible as stopping the sun from rising. That's how impossible it was. There was no other, yeah, I can't explain it. I had just realized in that moment that, holy shit, this was never going to happen any other time than right now. I could feel how this plan of, and again, I don't like the word plan because it sounds malleable. It sounds like I could have changed it, but no, no. And what I realized this morning was, I think our whole life is that domino effect. You know, we think we can, you know, we play in, oh, you're born in every now moment so you can change things around. But that changing of things around that you're giving yourself the illusion of, that was already laid out. That was already part of this domino effect. Does that make sense? I keep getting these little blips of it making perfect sense, and then I dip into now. It really is the whole driver/passenger scenario. So a friend of mine recently asked me, she was actually teaching a class. And in the class she was talking about revision, and she was talking to people who revise, and she was asking them, when you're revising, when you're imagining yourself doing this scenario, are you seeing it from third person? Are you kind of like viewing yourself doing it? Or are you seeing it from first person? Are you viewing it from your own eyes? And I couldn't answer because it wasn't either one of those. It was something else. And so after we had that class, I was listening to the recording and I really stepped into, okay, how the fuck do I view this? And I realized I was viewing it when I revise, which I'm really good at. When I revised, I'm seeing it from a view that was a combination of both, first and third person. And I realized in that moment that was the view. That was the way I looked at things in my dreams. It's kind of like this, the movie It. I think it's called It. No. It's the John Carpenter movie, The Thing. That was it, The Thing. Oh, I love scary movies. Oh, I don't like them as much as I used to, but I still love them. And in this movie, this creature was copying another person, and it was in the middle of dying. And as it was dying, it was trying to split apart. And so there's this picture where the face is splitting apart. And when I realized I view things from the first and third person, that vision came to mind of, I'm kind of like in first person, I'm looking out from the eyes of that person, but I'm also split apart over here in a third person, viewing it from there too. And that was the closest I could come to that. And I realized that's that driver / passenger whole thing. You're both. You're in both. And it's possible not to be one or the other, but to see through the vision of both. And it's its own vision. It's not first or third person. It's something unto itself. And that was a powerful aha. And I realized, again, this morning when I was in that space of, holy shit, this is kind of like a domino effect. Like, I really don't have any control over this. I'm giving myself the illusion that I do. I get to play in the action of revising and all that, but that was already written. It was already going to happen. I think it wasn't going to happen, but it was. It was already all written. And I don't have to get in the space of, oh my God, look what I did, look what I did, look what I did. I mean, I can play there, but it's not necessary. I can be a little more chill and go, yep, of course I had another miracle. It's the way I roll. It's the way it always has been. Since if I zoom out away from my life, and in yesterday's video, I was talking about how you get to rewrite your whole life, including that childhood and those memories, right? And if I zoom out away from my life and I'm looking down at my little lifeline, and I think I'm rewriting it, that already happened, right? I think I'm doing this. I think I'm taking control and driving this train here. But no. That was already, you could say predetermined, you could say all those words, but it's so much bigger than that. It's so much more than that. So what was happening is this morning I had one of the people that, the girl who was asking me about the nomad thing, again, she's trying to plan it out. And I'm just like, you got to let go of those reins, babe. You don't have to put so much effort into it because it's going to happen when it happens. And you're just on for the ride, babe. And truly, I had no idea of this until it happened to me. And the whole fucking time I'm driving around as a nomad, and you guys know my stories, I had no idea where I was going, what I was doing. I would just open up the map in the morning and something would jump out at me. And I'm like, okay, then we're going that way. And I didn't know where I was staying. I didn't know what campground I was going to stay at. And yet it always happened. Oh my God, guys. And every campground I was at, every one of them is holy shit, mind-blowing stories. And every place I went, holy shit, mind-blowing stories. And every person I met, holy shit, blowing stories. Always. Always. So when we get caught up in this, oh my God, I've got to vibrate this way to make this happen. In these moments right now, where I'm at right now, I see the futility of that. I see the absolute, why the fuck are you doing that? You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. You've already written the story, and it's a good story, and it's a mind-blowing story. So stop that. But that's going to stop. That's all part of the story too, right? All those, I got to do it right. That's all part of the story too. And I don't know, it really, there is such a combination of hands-on and hands-off. You're not the driver and you're not the passengers. You're something else. Something that is a combination of the two, but so much bigger than that. So, and the aha, the understanding of it does come. It does happen. And there are times where you do truly just throw your hands off the steering wheel and go, you know what? All is good. I can't fucking die, so let's just see where life takes me now. Let's just keep going in this direction. And then there's other times where you're desperately grasping at the steering wheel. Cool. It's all written. It's all good. I used to always say the universe has got my back. The universe has always fucking got my back. And guys, I'll still say that. But it sounds separate from you, and it's not. And I've moved into such a space of, maybe I've always been here, this space of, I am the universe, and I've always got my back. And it's not even that either. I can step back and really view everything from the space of me that is eternal. And that's not anything airy-fairy or removed from you, and only the people with special vision can see that. No, you see it all the time. Look in the fucking mirror. That's the version of you. That's the version of you that's eternal. The one looking at you in the mirror. The one I'm seeing right here in this screen. We play these games of I am and oh my God, universe and swirling infinity and perfection and all those general type words that never quite concreted in. But if we look in the mirror, there you are. And can it be that easy? Can it be that obvious? Why the fuck not? And guys, honestly, my answer is fuck yes. Fuck yes. And when I look in the mirror and maybe I see something I'd rather not play with, I can go, no, babe. I know, number one, that what I'm seeing, sometimes it's kind of like the funhouse mirrors. You could just giggle at it. And that's what I always and I mean life as well. You just laugh at it as the funhouse mirror, because it's just this distorted view of what is truly, really real. And you know it. You're standing in front of the warped mirror that makes you look really short and fat and contracted, or fat and huge, or whatever. And talk about the movie, The Thing, where the face is like pulling apart. That's a funhouse fucking mirror, right? And I've watched mirrors where it's like that. But you get to giggle at it. You get to laugh, because all you have to do is move to the left, and here's another fun mirror that makes you look even worse or better or whatever. But it's all this funhouse fucking mirror. Always. And you can take it seriously. You can see that mirror and go, oh my God, let me run to the hospital. Let me get a shot to fix this. Or you could just giggle at it. You can just laugh. You get to play old. You get to play young. You get to play all those fun house mirrors. You get to play it all. And life, oh my God, I've lost my business. My business shut down because of COVID, blah, 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 blah. It's just a fun house mirror. You just get to laugh because something really cool is around the corner. I knew it. When all that was a happening, I almost said occurring, but it turned into a happening. When all that was happening, I knew I was up to something. At the time I was saying I knew the universe was up to something, but I knew I was up to something. And when I woke up that one morning and it was just, you're going to be a nomad. Get rid of all your belongings. Hurry up. Get on it now, because you're leaving on this date. It was like, okay. There was no, maybe I don't want to do that. No, it was just, this is happening. It's like when your parents said, we're going to go out to dinner, clean up your room, do it now so we can go, and or whatever. Whenever they made a decree and you had to hurry up and do all these things, that's exactly what it was. Ooh, that was, see, I told you, the epiphanies are always there. That's exactly what it was. My parents, whoever they were, told me, you're going to be a nomad. Get rid of all your shit. You're going to go on this date. Get going. And then, of course, during my nomad times, which, guys, I'm still a nomad. But during my real nomad times where I was seriously driving around every single day, 6-7 hours to this location or that location or whatever, the parents saying, all right, hurry up, pack up your shit because we're going to Yellowstone today. All right, hurry up, pack up your shit because we're going to go to, the Flaming Gorge today or whatever. There were times where I'm sitting here going, oh, where am I going to stay tonight? I don't know where I'm going to stay. What campground am I going to stay at? Da, 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 da. It's kind of like my parents were there going, we've got it. Don't worry about that. You don't, just look out the window and enjoy the view. Yeah, we got it taken care of. And guys, every moment of life is like that. This is so good. This is so good. I love coffee talks. This is so fucking good. Every moment of life is like that. And we give this, we play in the funhouse mirror that, oh, you're alone now. You don't have parents anymore to take care of anything. You got to be a big kid now. But that's so bullshit. That's so not true. Never at any time, number one, did you have parents taking care of anything. You were the one taking care of everything. Always. Even if you give yourself the illusion or the memory or whatever that you were 5 years old or 4 years old or whatever, you were always the one in charge. You were the one that always fucking had your back. And then you give yourself this funhouse mirror that all of a sudden you're an adult and you got to do it all yourself. But it never changed. It never stopped. You never stopped having your back. And this moment right here, right now, same fucking thing. You've always got your back. And you guys know I'm always talking to me because I'm the only one I can see. These videos are always me talking to me. I love it. Oh, you're brilliant. You're amazing. You're fantastic. Yeah, so those are big general words. Let's be more specific. Tell me a story. Tell me a story of how many times have you had your back? All the serendipitous, you just happened to be in the perfect place at the perfect time to land the perfect job, or to meet the perfect love of your life, or to have the most perfect, wow, blow me away, miraculous interaction. How many times does that happen in your life? All the fucking time. All the time. And I'm not going to play in this game anymore of, and if you're focused on the negative, then that's what you're going to see. I don't like playing there anymore. I'm so over that. Because that's just not true. That, again, it's just a funhouse mirror. And it's all so perfectly planned. It really is. I used to say divine orchestration. That was a nice big ass word. 2 big ass words. 2 very fun big ass words. And it sounds very, very fancy. Divine orchestration. Maybe I'll still use that. I don't know. But it's so true. It's so fucking true. It really is. And we'll just say funhouse mirror because that's fun. Maybe I'll make that the title of this thing. All right. Go have a brilliant day. I can't wait to see what today's going to bring. Maybe it's just going to be a tease. It's going to be one of those teasing days where it's like, ooh, I'm going to rain on you. And then it never happens. Man, I'll tell you guys, I was camping during my nomad times when I was really nomad. And I don't even know what state I was in, but I was in this campground. And these black clouds rolled in. And I'm such a California girl that I'm always like, yeah, they threaten, but nah. But see, I didn't realize I was probably in Montana. I was up in those states where when those black ass clouds come in, there's a guarantee monsoon coming through. And I'm in my tent. I'm in my tent with my dog on the side of a river. And holy shit, man, when that monster came through, I didn't know. All I could do was just hunker down in my tent, and we actually stayed fairly dry. We're both, I had my inflatable bed, and my dog had her dog bed. And but man, the thunder and the lightning and the rain. I never experienced any shit like that in California, and I'm in a tent. And the next morning, you just wake up to sunshine and everything's clean and sparkly. Like you didn't just live through a fucking hurricane. And there was even a moment in the middle of the night that I'm going, shit, I sure hope this river I'm next to doesn't overflow and take me away. And, it's just one of those storms where there's nothing you could do. There were times where I was like, ooh, maybe I should just quick run to the car and we can get in the car. But we were fine. The tent wasn't leaking and we were fine. So I just hunkered down. But the next morning, you get up and everything's just all clean and gorgeous and beautiful. And I look down and the bottom of the tent is like a little lake. But because I'm in a floating mat, I'm literally in a floating mattress, so I was good. And the sides of the tent, because it's like this nylon, you may feel like you're dry. There was no drips or anything happening, but it was soaking in. So, you get up and you hang your tent out to dry and you hang everything else out to dry and you just, but all along I was fine. I was fine. I was fine. Life is really a-okay. Again, you can be in the storm and just kind of going, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, what can happen? And then you've got all these great things going on in your mind of what could happen. But is that really whatever happens? Does that ever really happen? No. And if you've got these memories that, oh yes, this happened to me and I ended up in the hospital and I was blah, 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 and I was suffering horribly. My invitation to you in those times is like, number one, change that memory because that didn't really fucking happen. Number two, is that happening now? No. Okay, let that go. You don't need to remember that. You don't need to play there. You can, funhouse mirror. But there's those times you're looking at these funhouse mirrors and those are the ones you just walk right on by because no, that wasn't very fun. This was more fun. You guys come here and check this out. This one's more fun. It's like that. All right, guys. Love you.